Well, this month's episode, we've got Connor Liddle, aka Cranebrain, mobile crane operator, and content creator. Is there anything else you want to call yourself?
Um, no, I'll keep it
No.
PG.
That's all right, don't matter.
I'll say
Um,
a bit of a bell end, but I'm not. No, I'm
yeah,
joking.
we've yeah, it's been a bit of a mission doing this, isn't it? I think this is fourth time lucky, isn't it? So
Yeah, man.
we've eventually got there. I think it's just one of them things, and it work and everything just a nightmare. What was it? First one, you were still at work, weren't you?
Yeah.
On a Sunday.
Still
Uh,
grafting.
second one, second one had no signal.
Yep, Wi-Fi.
Third one, you went to Disneyland, come back
Yep.
late, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now we how was Disneyland anyway? Right?
Yeah, really good, man. Really good. It's
Yeah.
expensive
Oh yeah.
for
Oh,
anyone.
yeah.
But a tight Yorkshireman like me, it's
Is that,
it really
is
hit
that
home.
true? Is it? I've heard that. Is that true? You all seem
Yeah,
to claim it. Yeah.
yeah. We like to penny pinch where we can, but a couple of cans of Cronenberg costing 50 odd euros. Like, but you've got to pay. You've got to spend it. They've got you right where they want you. So
Yeah.
you can't really. But we had a brilliant time. Went with my brother and his wife and kids, and then there was me and my wife and our son as well. He's a little bit young. Our son, which kind of he enjoyed some of the characters and stuff like that, but obviously couldn't go on any. He went on a couple of little rides, but we're going to take him again when he's a bit older and he understands a bit more. But
Yeah.
it was more for the wife, I think, to be honest. She's always wanted to
Really.
go, so yeah.
It's not so proper Disneyland in the States, yeah?
No, it was just Paris,
Oh,
just
Euro
Paris.
one. Okay.
Yeah. So not a little bit of a smaller version. It's not on the
Yeah,
same
but it's still
scale.
it's still double expensive in it. It's still mad busy, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's the only thing that does me in about these places, just queuing up for ages and ages and ages and ages.
Yeah,
And the cheese of it all, proper cheese, isn't it?
yeah. It's good though. Like I'm not a big like old school Disney fan. I like the Pixar stuff, like the Toy Story and stuff like that. But she loves
Yeah,
all the Lion King and everything like that. So
yeah,
I didn't warm to that side of it. But the Marvel side and the Pixar bit and stuff, I enjoyed it. It was
yeah.
good. Really good, really
Yeah,
good.
I like my comic stuff.
There's a lot of
Um,
cranes there as well. Actually, there was building a little like there was building a new set. So
okay.
I was just going around looking at all the cranes that
I,
were on.
I, I bet you was boring the fuck out of your missus, weren't you?
Yeah, she was like, "Fucking hell, you're not looking at another crane." I was like, let's just have a little look down here. Let's just see what's going on." But
Yeah, I've
that's
done that.
what it.
Yeah, we went to Venice a few years ago, and
Nice,
our so Terex, we got Terex cranes. Terex, their manufacturers like right near Venice. I'm
right?
saying to her, oh, we're going to have a quick look, shall we? She's like, no, fuck off. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, it's
I'm not that sad. I'm not that sad, really, honestly. Should we talk a little bit about cranes then?
yeah, might as well. Why not? Why not?
Um, so the first time we couldn't do it, you was building some extraordinary machine.
Yeah,
Yeah, you messaged me and you said, "Oh, I can't do it this week. I'm building the Focus." And I was thinking, "What the fuck's the Focus?" I thought it was like some kit car or something. So I had to research it, and it was just some absolute beast of a crane, isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh
So
yeah, she's a monster.
tell us about that then.
So yeah, it's called the Focus 30. It's a Mammut. Um, one of one. Mammut have built it, manufactured it as their own design and concept. With another guy. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but it's a kind of like a joint venture, and it's basically a crane that builds itself vertically rather than horizontally. So your standard crawler cranes and stuff like that, you would build your crane horizontally. This one, you put all your jib sections in and it jacks it up and you just build it vertical, allowing to build in a much tighter sort of area. Like the crane was built for the job that we're doing right now, which is cracker heads, regen and reactors on petrochemical sites, basically in really tight, congested areas. So the job it's on at the moment is what the crane was built for, and there'd have been no other crane that could have got in the space that we've rigged the Focus up in. So it's an engineering marvel, to be honest. Like, I've been with it now, working with it for 3-4 months, and every day you look at it, you're just like, this is absolutely fucking crazy. Love it, man. It's brilliant.
So it's one of a kind then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of one. Like, you do see the actual, you see it on tower cranes and stuff, the kind of jacking system where they can self erect. Similar to that, but obviously it's never been done in this sort of capacity, because the crane's like a 2,500 ton capacity crane, so it's no joke. Like,
What?
it's not to be sniffed at, like, but it really is like an engineering marvel, to be honest. It's crazy. It's mental.
I can't picture it. I'm not understanding how that works, how it jacks itself, how it builds itself. So you got each jib section.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you've got to put the jib section on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to, an assist crane puts it on. Yeah.
And then what happens then?
So I'll do a little demonstration with a, hold on. I'll do it just from my hand. So you've got your base here, and then you've got like a frame, a skidding frame.
Yeah.
So you put your section on top, and then you slide that into the, like, where the heel pins are, and then the skidding, the jacking frame comes down, pins to the bottom of the section, jacks it up, and then you pull the skid frame out, and then put another section in, and just keep doing that, and just keep going up until, pardon me, you're up 118 meters in air. There's a lot more to it than that. That's a very basic. That's a very basic.
I can imagine. I mean, it took you long enough to. How long did it take to build it?
I think all in all, it was 22 days, 21 days, 22 days. I think it was.
Wow.
It's not. It's a long process. It's not like the longest that Mammut have, like the PTCs and stuff that they have. That's like 6 to 8 weeks rig up time, but it is. It's a slightly longer than like your bigger crawlers. Like, it's a big job. It's a very big operation.
So it's built now. So are you running it now on the job, like?
Not running it. There's been 2 operators over from the States that have been on days and nights. I'm sort of been taken on as like learning the machine, and I've had a bit of seat time, done a couple of little lifts, 160 ton test weight to test the train, stuff like that. I've not really done any lifts in the actual shutdown, which I'm fine with. I've had a little bit of seat time. It's given me that little bit of, it's given me that fire to be like, this is a machine that I want to sort of like learn. And the guy that runs it, Nick, is a Canadian, and he's like the ideal. He's a crane nerd for one, which is kind of like me. Like, we both talk cranes all day. It's kind of sad, but he's a crane nerd. But he's a really good teacher, and he's got a lot of patience to go through stuff. And I've got like a million and one questions that I'm firing at him every day, and he's just answering them, and he loves it. Like, so he's a really great guy to learn off. It's going really well. Enjoying it.
So who knows where that'll take you? And you know.
Well, we'll see what the future holds.
So what do you do in between not driving that then?
Came off the 1750 LTM.
Is that your normal crane? Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I was on that for like two and a half years. And then this opportunity came up. My brother's the site manager on the job as well. He works for Mammut. So he was saying, the Focus is coming to a job. And when it was over here, the first ever job that it had, it was in Immingham at P66, Phillips 66 in the UK, and that was 2021. And I worked at Mammut at that time as well, and my brother was just coming into site managing, and I expressed my interest for the Focus then. So obviously it went away, it went to South Africa, it went to America, and when he texted me saying, the Focus has got a job back in the UK, do you fancy, like, do you want me to try and see what I can do, get you on it? I says, like, supervising and stuff. And I was like, absolutely, like, I want a piece of that action, 100%. So I'm having a good time. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, good stuff. So would you say 2,500 tons? You say it lifts?
Yeah, 2,500 ton capacity. It's crazy. Mental.
What's that compared to Big Carl?
Big car's 5,000.
5,000, yeah.
So if you want to look at the Focus, is not the biggest crane, but it's the only one of its kind.
Yeah.
If you want to go into like Big Carl's categories, is like the ring cranes. Mammut have just literally a week ago commissioned the SK 6000, which is actually beaten Big Carl now.
Okay.
That's 6,000 tons load moment. Not load moment, sorry. 6,000 ton capacity. I'm talking shite. 6,000 ton capacity of Big Carl's 5,000 ton.
Yeah,
But that's an absolute monster. That thing. That's crazy.
It's mental, isn't it? Yeah, it's mental.
Absolutely mental.
Can you just, while we're on talk about tons, can you just
Yeah.
explain meters, tons,
Oh
or
God, you
tunnels?
really, you're really testing me now. So if you do a lot of all crawlers and stuff are the capacity is what the crane will do, which you don't really go off it on crawlers. So you're really gonna have to test me here because I'm gonna. I was speaking about it to Nick the other day, and I was asking him the same question because I've come from mobile cranes, and
Yeah,
you see load moment like ton meter a lot
yeah,
more in the crawlers. You don't see it in mobile cranes at all because
right.
it's not really relevant. But like the Focus 30 is the 30 actually stands for 30,000 ton meter, which means it'll do 1,000 ton at 30 meters. So it's the capacity at that moment basically.
Yeah.
I'm explaining this all wrong,
No,
absolutely
that
all
sounds
wrong.
right.
But it's a lot more load moment is a lot more important than the actual crane's capacity because like an LTM
Yeah.
1750, it's 750 ton capacity crane, but it'll never lift. It'll never lift 750 ton ever.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm technical information like that. I'm pretty shit at, to be honest.
You done it right. I think I got that one. I think I got that.
Yeah,
So you've been working for Mammut for a few years,
yeah. 5 years, be 6 years in July next year.
because so when we met a few months ago, you was on my job, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
What was you doing there? I can't remember.
Supervising. We were putting
Oh,
them gantry. We were putting them the gantry beams
yes, the
in.
gantry. Yeah, because I'm in the sort of bunker, and you was surrounded me with the gantry areas. But that weren't a Mammut crane then, was it? I thought that was another
Yeah.
crane. Was it?
No, it was a remote crane. It was a 350. Yeah, LTM 350.
Okay. I thought it was a
Cracking little
different.
machine.
I thought it was a different hire company. I just got confused there. Yeah. So
They had,
so
yeah, the steel company we was on for. They had their own cranes.
yeah,
PDB was it? I think.
PPB
Yeah,
Billingtons. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They had their own
yeah.
cranes, but ours was the Mammut 350. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we met. So that's why you're here, really, because I had a fitter. I had a fitter up my crane, and I was doing a bit on my laptop, and he just goes, "Oh, you know that dude down there? He does YouTube. You'll see I do it." I went, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, who's that then?" He's like, "Oh, Cranebrain." I said, "Who's that then?" He's like, "That dude there with the shades. You had the funky shades on, didn't you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was, "Oh, that's it. I've got to get him on then." Yeah, wicked. I had a little look. So yeah, that was it. I can't remember when it
Yeah,
was. That
no,
was a few months ago, wasn't it?
a fair few months ago now. It must be March, April time, maybe May.
Yeah, yeah. At least, at
A
least.
while ago.
Yeah. You had a bit of trouble getting on the job as well, didn't you?
Yeah, fucking nightmare. Horrible,
Yeah,
horrendous, and getting off as well. Like they wouldn't let us. We had to leave the council. The road that we was going through, like his actual route was. It was the bridges at the beginning of the site. They weren't.
yeah,
You weren't allowed to take a crane over them. So we had to go a really horrible back road route, and it was really tight. And I put it on one of my YouTube videos. It was a good representation actually of driving a machine like that on British roads because although they may be strong the roads, they're not the widest, which is weird because when you go to America, they've got very wide roads, but they're very weak.
yeah,
Like they have to strip all their cranes down fully. We can run a lot heavier axle weights.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a horrible road. Horrible road.
Yeah, I was reading something on Reddit about that actually, because they're quite hot on Reddit, the crane community, and they wasn't talking about the state of the road, but they were amazed at the capacity that you could put on the cranes on the roads over here, like astounding compared to over
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, it's massive. It's
Is
huge.
there a reason for that?
I don't know if it's because of the quality of the roads,
Right.
but I did read something that the roads weren't the best, like quality wise, which is why they're
Yeah,
so
yeah,
low. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. But I know that we're the heaviest. We can run the heaviest, like in the
yeah,
world. Like nowhere else can run as heavy as us.
yeah, mate.
It saves a lot of time on the rigs because I've put videos on in the past of rigging like the 750 on just full ballast Y guy, which takes us like 3 hours. But in
yeah,
the States, because they have to strip the machines down so much, it's like 12, like a full day's work just to rig it up on main boom, which
mate.
is that's crazy. Really
Yeah,
shortens it down.
that is long out of doing my head in that. But
Yeah,
excuse me. You talk about nightmare on the roads. I mean, that's why one of the reasons why I chose towers because I mean, I've moved a scaffold lorry once. I've moved it about 8 meters forwards, and I just thought, nah, this is not for me, man. This is not for me. I was like shitting it, like so I couldn't imagine driving one of them things around the British streets, man, honestly.
that honest. To be fair, they're not. You do get used to the size eventually. Like it took me a
Yeah,
while, but once you've been in, like that 750, it was like it was driving a car, man. It was so
really.
nice to drive. Yeah, it's beautiful, and no one messes with you either. No one messes with you on the road. Like you come up to a roundabout. But actually, to tell a lie, London's the only place where people still try and cut in and stuff like that. But other than London, no one else messes with you. They all keep the distance. They see
Yeah.
a big machine like that and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? But London, horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different. Yeah, everyone's a lot more aggressive in London, aren't
Yeah,
they?
very.
Nightmare.
It doesn't, even people on like bikes and not so much, well, push bikes, but like scooters and stuff, and they're
Yeah,
nipping in and out and trying to get in your blind spot. And
yeah.
you've got fucking in your mirror, you're 23 meters behind you to back at crane. So you can't see a little person just nipping in and out. It's honestly, I hate driving in London. Hate it with a passion. It's horrible. Horrible.
Same here, mate. Even driving a car, hate it.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about how you got into the industry then.
Yep. Um, it's a bit of a, it's kind of a, I don't know. A lot of people have the same story. I think like it's very family orientated. So my dad was a crane operator for 25 years. Um, worked for various companies in the UK, most well-known companies, Ainsco, Crane Services, Mammut, worked for Mammut. And ever since I was very young, always wanted to be one. Just always used to take me out on jobs with him and stuff. Like obviously can't do that now. That'd never be allowed. But 20 years ago, he used to take me in the van and we'd go out and get me onto sites sometimes and that as well. And I just used to love it, man. I always wanted to do it. So ever since a young lad, just always wanted to do it, just waiting for my time.
Did he let you have a little go when you was a kid?
Not me. He did my other brother.
Right.
When I say it's a family thing, I've got two brothers. They're both crane operators. My uncle, crane operator. Cousin works for Mammut, but he's not crane side. He's like jacking and skidding, an SPMT side. And my other cousin's working on this job with me with a Focus. He's a crane operator. It's just,
Mate,
it's just a
that must be a really boring conversation for the women in the house at Christmas dinner. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of jib talk flying around. Yeah, one of my best mates. He's a crane operator. I went to nursery with.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, he's not a crane operator, but he's a lift supervisor. His dad, he works for Mammut. We both, honestly, the village that I'm from, there's probably 10, 15 crane operators or people in the lifting. Like it's only a small village as well. It's tiny,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's definitely a family. A family. It's in the blood. I think that's what we always
Yeah.
say. It's
Yeah.
in the blood.
Yeah. Do you know? Talking about cranes. I had a guy on another podcast, a guy called Kevin Benison. He's quite
Yeah,
big in the training.
I spoke to Kevin. Yeah, spoke to
Oh,
him a
have
few
you?
times. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Very smart man. Very smart man.
Oh, honestly, yeah, really
Too
is.
smart for me. Too smart for
But
me.
yeah, that's kind of the reason why I'm going to talk about what I'm talking about now. But once we did it, I mean, it was quite a long one, and we spoke about all sorts of stuff, philosophy and well-being and self-help and that. And one of my mates watched it, and he said, he told me, Jim, you, the only thing you didn't speak about was Margaret Thatcher and actual cranes. And I was like, oh yeah, I suppose we should speak about cranes a little bit. But it's like because I'm in the industry, it kind of like bit boring a little bit, like after work, if we go down a pub with the lads for a beer, and
Yeah,
after a while, everyone's got to talk cranes. In the end, I just get up and leave, just thinking, oh, I'm bored of this now. You know what I mean? Just do my
yeah,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, but I won't fall asleep on you. Don't worry.
No, no. To be honest, I'm the opposite. I just talk about them constantly. It does the wife's head in, man. Absolutely. Just
Yeah,
I'll be working away for like 2 weeks or whatever, and then I'll get home, and then like my mate or my brother will ring me, and then we'll start talking. And then I'm like, no, I'm at home now, like family time. Put phone down. Then she's just looking at me like, you've just been at work for 2 weeks working with cranes, and then you've just been rang by whoever to talk about cranes. It's like, I know, but it really isn't. It really, I know it sounds sad and cliche, but it's not like a job. Like it is,
yeah,
like you live and breathe it sort of thing. If you want to,
yeah,
that's what I tell the people that want to get into the industry is like, don't just do it because it's a job. Like, just if you want to get into it and be good at it, you really need to like live and breathe it sort of thing, and then it'll come. I tell that to people that want to try and get into it. Don't just get into it because the money can be good. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Because you're right. Because it's not all rosy, is it? You've got your
No.
long hours, and obviously you work away a lot, and you've got a lot of politics and all this, that, and the other. So it has got to be something you love. I mean, I love operating the cranes. I just
Mhm.
hate everything else that goes with it. I hate the politics. I hate
Yeah.
dealing with idiots. I hate the hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, just that's why I chose Tao, because I just want to be up there, out of the way, in my cab, in my space, just operating, pulling the levers, and that's it. Just leave me alone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. See, I used to love the operating side of it as well, but since working with the bigger stuff, I've totally flipped it, and I like building them now and stuff.
Yeah,
That side of it. So, because you've got to think like you come, especially now with the focus, you come to a job and you've got like 20 odd days of actually building a crane with all these amazing lifts and all this rigging and stuff that you've got to do before you've even started a hoist for the client, like you've even started a lift. And then I had it when we built the crane, like said to Nick, I was like, I am fucked here. And he was like, oh yeah, it's hard work. And then he was like, we've got like a month and a half here now of fucking hoisting like lifts and big lifts and stuff. And then we're just coming to the D-rig sort of thing. It'll be like next week or two. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, I've got to do it. We've got to do it all. Obviously, I say I've got. It's not just me. There's a team of us.
yeah,
Don't get it twisted. That I'm not building this crane on my own. Like there's loads of people. Like there's a team of us, but
who's
it's a
Nick?
fucking lot of hard work. Nick Lapierre, he's the Canadian that runs the crane.
Oh,
Like
okay,
he's sort of like the guru of the focus. He's been there since the test bed, basically. Like
right,
the focus is his baby. Sort of like he's a global
right,
supervisor for it. He's a fucking sound guy, like legend.
okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah,
So, what do you? I mean, let's give you a chance to talk about cranes. Energy, you love it so much. What do you love about your crane, the usual one,
the 750,
750?
best crane on the market, hands down, best
Right.
crane. Usability, easy to rig, quick to rig. Well, I say quick to rig. It is when you get into a good routine. Because heavy cranes is like all about routine. You need a
Mm,
good routine with a good partner. He knows what I'm doing. I know what he's doing. We know what comes next straight away. We're on it. But that 750, the steps is just everything just flows. It's just so nice. Like we do this, we're on to that. We're there. We do that bit, then we're on to it. It just flows and just I love it, man. I used to love the 500 before it. The Libre as well, LTM 1500. But then my brother was on the 750 before me. Believe it or not, with the same guy. I ended up going on it with the same guy that my brother was on it, Neil. He's another top bloke, taught me a lot. Really good, knowledgeable, and patient. Just like kind of complete opposite to me. I'm a bit of a angry fucking.
Oh yeah,
Not angry like as like malicious, like just I think it's because I'm so passionate about the job. Like things piss me off quite a lot because
Yeah.
I want to do everything really good, and if something isn't going right, then it just fucking grinds my gears. But stuff can't be helped sometimes. I'm kind of working on it. I'm trying to chill out a little bit more, but yeah, just very passionate person about work. So gets to it.
Perfectionist.
Well, yeah, I think it's yeah, kind of with the cranes. Like I want it to be right. I want everything to be right. I always done, and it never goes right all the time. You know what I mean? You can never be, and you can never be right all the time. But the job, it's just nature of job, isn't it? I'm a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
too hard on myself.
you got to adapt to certain situations, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You set a high standard for yourself and expect other people to be the same. Then is that what you're saying? Sort of.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
not so much expect other people to be the same. Anyone can be whatever they want to, but
Yeah.
I think for myself personally, I do set a high standard for myself to be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. I'm certainly not like I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I just try and be the best person that I can be. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'll be happy.
Everyone should be like that anyway. To
Yeah,
be fair, especially
absolutely.
working with dangerous machinery like that. You know.
Absolutely. Like these things are killers.
Yeah.
Basically, there's no long and short of it. They are absolute killers, really. If you get something wrong,
Yeah.
well, not 9 times out of 10, but with these heavy lifts and stuff, if you get something seriously wrong, then chance of a death or something like that is very high, very high.
Have you had any fuck ups? Have you had any bad fuck ups?
Couple of minor ones in the earlier years, like birds nested a couple of hoist ropes on a few smaller cranes.
Yeah.
Rectified it in that. Not really done major damage. Oh, put a windscreen through on like my first year of crane operating, with a 6-ton concrete, precast flooring,
Yeah.
like block and beam, but it's like the big precast
Yeah.
flooring. Picked a stack of them up off a wagon, and I blame the slinger for not having my head in the right position, but I might have overcompensated a little bit on the boom just to try and to take the deflection out, and came up sweet as a nut off the trailer, and then it just went straight into windscreen. But yeah, I've had a couple of little minor injuries, minor incidents, but nothing too major.
Yeah. Nothing too bad, no. Do you
Thank
know
God.
what? I hate them block and beam. I used to be a ground worker and I used to install them,
Yeah,
but we used to have to carry them across site. Like some of them, like 250 kilos, like one each
yeah.
end, carrying them across muddy, rubbly sites. Like fucking forearms and my biceps were killing me for about a week after my back. Hated those.
Honestly, we were having a conversation yesterday actually about what do you think the worst profession is like in the construction industry, and I said either some block and beam because you're constant and steel fixer, like constantly bent over
bending over,
all day. Like how people do that as a career, I do not know. That must kill you. That must be horrible.
In all the weathers, all the elements. Oh,
Yeah, they're made
mate.
of nails. Them man, steel fixers are fucking.
Yeah.
I always see them. They're all battered. Their face like leather. Like you are fucking hardcore.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I mean, they pay for it in the end. Like as you get older, so, like, I mean, most of my family's been in construction. So my dad, he was really fit, he was really strong, but now, I mean, he's got a false hip and he needs another one. He can't walk 10 meters properly without having to stop and rest.
Yeah.
My father-in-law's the same, walking hunched over and can't walk like 30 minutes without like being in real bad pain and that. So it does catch up with you, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's why I got out of it, you know, getting off the groundwork to go up and sit on my arse all day.
Yeah. I've done a bit of tower crane operating myself, but it was the work. The work for me, it just didn't appeal. Like you're saying, when we started, like it's just doing lifting rebar like 50, 60 lifts a day. Like I just couldn't fucking do my head in that, man.
Yeah,
absolutely do my head in.
I know what you mean. You don't think you'd ever go back to it then, no?
I think if push came to shove and some miraculous thing where I was out of work in the heavy side of it, like I'll always keep my ticket. I'll never let my ticket run. Well, obviously you have to get the hours in and stuff, but I've got enough hours to renew my blue card for another year, but another 5 years, which is I don't really the card system for me. I absolutely fucking hate it. Like, but I'd never try and let it go. If I have to let it go, then I would do. But I'd do it if I was push come to shove. But it wouldn't be my first choice. Like, it wouldn't be my first choice.
Would you ever consider being an owner driver?
I've talked about it a bit. I have talked about it and thought about it a little bit. I just, to be honest, wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't. I know that's not an excuse. Like, I wouldn't know. I'd love that. I think that'd be brilliant. But I just, I wouldn't know where to start with it. I've not thought about it too much. Put it that way. Do you know what I mean? I've not thought about it to put it into some sort of motion.
Yeah. Well, you started by buying a vehicle, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose. But even then, I won't know where to go to buy a bloody crane.
Well, no, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
You can't just go down to local auctions and they're like, here we have an LTM 1055. I was like, that's the one. We'll take it.
Yeah. That'll be brilliant for you, isn't it? Going to auctions, looking at all the new cranes.
I'd love it.
So that 750, that is that a big lift or is that mid range?
That's like the top end of the mobiles Liebherr do.
Oh, is it?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
The newer ones, anyway. The newer ones. So they have the LTM 11200, which is a 1200. They don't make that anymore, though. They don't make that. Then there's older ones that are higher capacity, but obviously they don't make any of them anymore. So it's the 750. Then there's the 650, which is the new model that's replacing the 500. And then it goes lower from that, basically. So it's one of the big ones.
Liebherr's the one in it, really.
Yeah. They're the dogs bollocks. They're like the Maybachs of the crane world, really. I'm not slagging the other ones off. Like I came through on Groves and Terex, but Liebherr just fucking everything is just bang on. The only thing that's shit about them, and this is probably the only thing. Well, there's a couple of things, but the one that springs to mind is they don't have a cup holder in the bottom cab. I think, which is fucking stupid. It's like, why have a machine like that? All these gizmos, you can drive them remote control and then not have a fucking cup holder at bottom cab.
Yeah,
stupid.
I
think the new ones do. I think the new Lycon 3s, they do have a cup holder in the bottom cab. I think they listen to everyone being fucking outraged by it. So, but I've yet to see one. They've been out for a few months now, the new Lycon 3, but I've yet to have a plain one yet. Fingers crossed.
Okay. You talk about gizmos. I mean, there seems to be a lot more buttons and readings in the mobiles than there is in towers. Seems to be loads in there from ones that, I mean, is that always been like that, or is it just advancing now, just advancing loads?
No, to be honest, if you look at the design of the 1500 Liebherr, and the buttons and stuff, they always had quite a lot of buttons. It's just now they've got touch screen and Bluetooth remotes, and they've always been quite button heavy. But I've only ever been in 2 tower cranes, so I wouldn't be able to compare them. I've been in a Commodore 430, is it?
Yeah.
That was the one I operated down at Hinkley Point, and the one I did my test on was a Wolf Cran. But I don't know what model it was, from like 1997. Pretty solid crane though. That's my tower crane knowledge.
Where'd you do your test?
It was what's the company called now? I want to say Bobby Beveridge.
Bobby Beveridge. Oh, okay. I never heard of
They
it.
shut down now. Shut down a fair few years ago. But they used to do the training for HTC.
Okay, yeah.
I think they had a yard like next door to them,
Right.
but I did it in a different yard further down south near Stoke. Cracking firm though, brilliant, really good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. What about let's talk about traveling. Obviously, you have to work away a lot, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, does that get to you after a while?
I'm finding it harder now because we've got a son, and I've got a young son at home.
Yeah.
And the wife, and she has to pick up a lot of the slack when I'm not there, and I'm finding that side of it quite hard. But she's an amazing woman, though. She's like, you need a special type. There's a bit of there's like a saying in the community, like it takes a special woman to be like a crane driver. Do you know what I mean? Like she's an absolute, she's a diamond. She's been looked after younger while I've been away and stuff. And I think that's the thing that's the hardest, is being away from him. But my dad was the same. He was never at home. He was always out working. So I'd like to think it's not done me any harm. Obviously, I do miss him and that, but end of the day, I'm providing for him and putting food on the table for him. So if that's the sacrifice to be away, I mean, she's really good. Like she'll come to wherever I'm working in the UK. She'll drive down. Like we've got this house down in Southampton, and she comes down here and she stays here with me for a few days and stuff like that. So we just make it work, and she's always done that. So you just got to make it work, really, haven't you? It's whatever works for you.
Yeah, that's it. Like you say, you've got to have an understanding partner that knows the crack, knows what you are and who you are.
100%. It's not even the working away though. Like when I used to work for Sarons before, I used to work like at Middlesbrough quite a lot, and it's within travelling distance to my house. And I'd get phone calls at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's like, we need like emergency cover and stuff. Can you just nip a crane out for a job and stuff like that? And she's like, it bothers her at first, but then she's, oh yeah, well, fair enough. We're not doing anything, sort of thing. Like, gets it off. She really is an absolute diamond, man. Honestly, she's really good.
One.
Brilliant.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah, man. Love her to bits.
Well, so what's it? So obviously you travel around the country, like north and south. What do you think the differences are in peoples from the north to the south? Then
southern, like south's definitely not as friendly. 100%. North is. I love Scotland, me. So I absolutely love Scotland, and the wife does as well. So whenever I work up in Scotland, absolutely love it. They're a lot more. Yeah, it depends what area actually in Scotland. Sometimes they're not as friendly as, but the south pretty much blanket. They're not normally the friendliest of people. I'm not saying they're nasty or horrible. Just when you're walking, like in Yorkshire, if you're walking through towns and stuff, and you're just like, "Hey up, you all right? Hey up," and everyone's like replying and stuff, and being sort of generally nice. And then in London, places down south, you tend to not really get any sort of interaction with anyone, really. They're not. Yeah, I know they're quite busy and everyone's in their own world and stuff, but
I know what you mean. Something popped into my head the other day. You know, you call your girlfriends and wives or whatever are less, yeah.
Our lash, yeah.
What do they call their blokes then?
Do you know what? It's a fucking great question. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, right.
Probably just his name. Bellend. Yeah, Bellend, probably. That twat again. Oh, it's that bloody twat ringing. You know what? I'll ask you. It'll probably just my name, I think.
Oh,
we're like our kid. Our kid's like your brother.
Yeah.
And then youngun's your son or your daughter or whatever. And our lass. I don't know. I don't think they have a name for it. Just a name.
Oh, fair enough. That's all right. It's just something popped into my head. Can you drive on the Yorkshire moors?
Yeah. I think so. Because I don't venture far from. I only venture when I work. I tend to not. Yeah. I think
we went up there a few months ago. We went to where did we stay? Can't remember, a little village. I can't remember the name. But it was near the North York Moors.
Mm-hmm.
And we done the moors. I loved it, man.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
But we walked along this track, and I thought we can drive down there. Miss was like, "No, don't go down there." So So we walked for miles and miles and miles. Like it was great just to get away from everything, get away from people and technology.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
I'm all for that. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yorkshire is beautiful though.
Yeah. Oh, mate, loved it. The people, like you say, the people, great. I've always known that the Yorkshire people have been so friendly, friendly, but they really are. So yeah, we've done York, done Harrogate.
Yeah, very posh.
Yeah, my boy's staying there for the army. Like he's at the college there.
Really?
So,
oh, nice.
We just went and checked it out for a minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really nice place, mate. So you're lucky.
Yeah. West Yorkshire's not as nice where I
Oh,
live.
no.
No, it's North Yorkshire's like the poster boy of Yorkshire. Like everywhere around North Yorkshire's beautiful,
Yeah,
lovely scenery, a lot of farm villages and stuff like that. West Yorkshire's a little bit rougher. East Yorkshire's very rough,
yeah.
and then South Yorkshire's very, very
Oh, is
rough.
it?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what's in South Yorkshire?
Barnsley,
Barnsley.
Sheffield, Rotherham,
Yeah,
all them
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
places. Obviously, I'm only joking, but we have a
yeah.
joke. You've got to have your little count. You've got to have your little county battles, haven't you, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
of
But West
course.
Yorkshire's, yeah, of course you have.
Yeah, tribalism.
Yeah, it's all good
Yeah.
fun.
Who do you support? You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
same,
I
mate.
am
Same.
indeed. I
Yeah,
am indeed.
yeah.
I've
Doing all right.
to be honest, mate, I've fallen out with football recently. Quite
Right.
just I don't know. I've just fallen out of it. Just
Yeah.
lost the love. Yeah, I've lost the love of it. So I've not really been following it at all. I'll tell
Ah,
you truthfully, yeah.
that's a shame because we've been flying recently.
I know. Which is, I know. I just have totally fallen out of it. I don't know if it's because yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have asked me, saying, "Oh, you still like?" Well, we played Minter at weekend. I'm like, I didn't even watch it, mate. Like, I've totally just fallen out of love with it. I think you get like that sometimes, don't you? I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah, you do. Yeah, probably. I mean, you've been working a lot, and you probably haven't had
Yeah,
much time.
yeah, true, true. Always
What's your normal
working.
sort of working hours?
Um, this job's been 12 minimum basically, and then
Yeah,
just ram on from there.
yeah,
12, 14s, a couple of 16s maybe, but
yeah,
nothing too serious.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. You say that.
Yeah, the long hours like, but if you're doing 70, 80 hours a week, it's a good week. It's a good week.
Yeah.
It's long
What's
hours.
what grates you about the job then? What don't you like?
Um, I think a lot of the sites nowadays are run by not so much uneducated people, but I think the sites are run by not so much. I'm not speaking specifically of one person. Like sites as a whole are run more by people that have got degrees and university
Yeah,
qualifications rather than they've actually done the job and they know the job. You see it in most, not just crane operating. I think in other trades and stuff like that. Like someone who's done all these qualifications yet can't really sift through and use a bit of common sense rather than it's in the book here. This is the book like this. It has to be followed. It just doesn't work like that.
yeah,
So that's probably my biggest gripe with the industry is there's not enough people coming through learning it from like a grassroots level, working, getting the experience in the field, and then going into like upper management, highest like running sites and stuff like that. So that's my biggest gripe. Like, there's a lot of idiots in the industry. There's a lot of idiots, but there's also a lot of really good people as well.
absolutely. I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's things like I mean, you can become an AP without having any crane knowledge, can't you?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly,
Some
100%.
like some companies just have some of their managers and an AP, but I think really you should. It should be a rule that you should have some sort of experience of that. I think personally.
Absolutely, 100%. You see it far too often, and you just they think they're doing the right thing, and that it just. I've had it on the site a couple of months ago. Like one of the last jobs I did on the 750. I'm not going to mention the site, like, but it's a well known project, and what they wanted me to do with the crane was just not in their calculations for the ground loading pressure. It worked, but an actual in real life scenario, it didn't work, and it was dangerous. And I stopped the job, and I was like, "Look, I'm not doing it." Basically, anyways, back and forth, back and forth. I got my way in the end, but they were still reluctant to admit that they were wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff like that. I'd rather work together with people and come up with a safe solution rather than thinking that I'm just butting heads with somebody that it was because it just wasn't safe what they were wanting me to do. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just shit like that just it's annoying, really. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. little things. Well, loads of little things annoy me, but one thing that bugs me is, like them online site inductions.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm up the crane most of the day, right? So let's say I'm going to this other job and I get sent this email. Can you fill this in by tomorrow? Otherwise, you can't get in. And I'm like, how am I going to fill that in? I'm up the crane driving the crane. So
Yeah.
then you want me to go home, fill this thing in my own time and not get paid for
Absolutely.
it? Take me an hour to do it, do all these bloody tests and watch this video and that. And then you go on site and then you have to be inducted anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah. I
You know?
honestly, that's one of mine. To be honest, they're fucking so annoying. I was talking about it yesterday again. Um, the same thing. Like they want you to, you'll get an email through saying, "Oh, you just need to do a site online induction." I'm like, well, I'm not doing it in my fucking home time. Not a
Yeah.
chance. So I'll either
Yeah.
do it the morning I go, or I'm booking the hour for
Yeah.
doing the. You know what I mean? Because end of the day,
Yeah.
if I'm sat at home doing a fucking, and they're not short either. Normally,
No.
like they're like a 45-minute thing.
Yeah.
Watch a 15-minute video and then do fucking a lot of questions, then another 15-minute video. I was like, fuck that, I'm booking time.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it in my own time.
And half of them don't work anyway sometimes, like they
Yeah,
freeze or they buff or and you have to keep going back and do it. Oh, it just don't made it, man. Yeah.
yeah. Or
So
they have like you have to you need to download an app. I've had one of them before where you're
yeah,
going on a
yeah,
specific site and I was like, I'm fucking downloading an app to go on a job.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
just getting ridiculous. Absolutely
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. So we get our little moan up out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your so yeah, I said earlier about your content create. So you do YouTube, TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. What made you get into that then? Start out.
Um so I was before I started everything, I was like the anti social media. I had nothing, no Facebook, no, I literally had nothing. And I was always like to my wife, because she used to have everything like Instagram and stuff. I was like, and all my family basically, it was just me and my other brother. And I was like, oh, you're all a slave to the system. Like, you're infecting your minds, you're poisoning your minds and stuff like that. And then in lockdown, obviously, most of everybody's TikTok story started in lockdown, I believe. Most of the people that you hear that started TikTok was like, oh, well, when I was in lockdown. So in lockdown, my wife was doing like funny, stupid dances, but wasn't posting them. I never had TikTok at this point. She weren't posting them. She was just sending them to her mates. Like her and a mate were like back and forth, having a few drinks, just sending stupid stuff. Excuse me. So then one day I was in the tower crane, believe it or not, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just download this TikTok. We'll have a little look here. And then next thing you know, I'm fucking scrolling through all these videos. I'm like, fucking hell, this is hilarious. And then it were a couple of months after that, I thought, I've not seen any construction TikTok at all. I've never seen anything like that. And then specifically, I was like, I've not seen one video about a crane. Like, and I've always been an advocate, even before social media, of we need to get more people, like younger people, into crane operating. Because my dad's been saying it for 10 years, 15 years, that there's no one coming up in the industry. And in 20 years' time, there's going to be nobody to drive these machines, or like nobody worth driving these machines, because there's just nobody coming up in the industry. So I thought, fuck it, this could be a really good tool to get people interested in cranes. So then it just started from there. But the site I was on at the time was Hinkley Point, HPC, obviously very high security. I don't know why it's high security, because it's, when I was on it, it was just it was a hole in the ground basically. They was treating it like it was nuclear, but it fucking wasn't. It's just a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
So I started posting videos about what I'm doing and on the site, and obviously Hinkley Point had about 60 tower cranes on at that point. So the site, like, to look at it, just looked fucking unbelievable. And just started from there, and I got the EDF found out about it. Hinkley Point found out about these videos, and they told me to take them all down. I was fucking gutted. Like, there was like, you need to take them down right now. It's like a security thing. So I was like, all right, fair enough. So I was like, just waiting until I came off Hinkley Point, and then I could start posting stuff about like the mobile cranes and stuff. And then it just snowballed from there, really. Just kept posting about my days and what we were lifting and everything about the cranes, well, as much as I could. And Mamoot found out, and then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get fucked here. Because a lot of companies don't really like it,
Yeah.
putting stuff online, which I think they're kind of shifting now. I'm seeing a lot more on social media than when I started 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking everywhere now. Like, I kind of, I've just cranes every. Well, it is on my FYP anyway, but even on LinkedIn and stuff like that, everybody's posting pictures and videos, and I think it's good. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when Mamoot found out, I was like, oh fuck, I'm fucked here. And they were literally like, look, we really love what you're doing. We think it's absolutely brilliant. Just tone down the swearing, because I used to swear on a lot of my videos, and they were like, just tone down the swearing, and like we're happy. And then Holland found out. Obviously, Mamoot's a Dutch company, so like the head office found out, and they were the same. They were like, this is fucking brilliant. Like, we love this.
Yeah.
We really like to see it. And Mamoot are really big on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and they put videos out. We've actually had the crew over for this job. They've filmed they did 3 days of filming on this job. So there'll be a good good bit of footage come out of this job. But yeah, Mamoot are really behind the old social media, so it just snowballed from there, mate. Really, I feel like I've just rambled for ages. Then I do apologise.
No, it's good. That's good. No, that's it. That's good. Yeah. So you've got quite a big following now, haven't you?
Yeah. It's I can't remember exactly. It's over 100,000 on TikTok and nearly 30 on Instagram. So 30,000 on Instagram. So it's going well.
Yeah.
Going well.
I'm tempted to do TikTok myself. Actually,
it's a lot easier.
Is it?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm swaying more towards Instagram now than TikTok. Only because I feel like I get more engagement on Instagram than I do on TikTok. It's very up and down TikTok. Like, some videos are really good, some videos do really shit. I feel Instagram's like a very, very consistent stream of interaction. But I've slacked off a little bit in the last few months because I've been that busy with this build, and I've just fucking proper slack. Like, the YouTube's dead at the minute because I just haven't been able to record anything. The site's too loud, stuff like that. But honestly, it's worth doing TikTok. It is worth doing, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was like you, mate. Honestly, I wasn't even on anything. Probably 3 years ago, nothing. I was didn't even like internet, no social media, nothing. But I started doing it because of my website stuff. But like yourself, I thought, well, I'll try TikTok, but because I'm on a job I'm on now, they're the same as Hinckley. You're not allowed to record and stuff like that. So again, like yourself, I'm waiting. But I got the app, but I just never look at it. I don't even look at the app to. You know what I mean? So, but I think I will do it. But it's just it's all time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the editing and all the posting and everything, and it's just so time consuming.
Yeah, that was the biggest shock for me, going from Instagram and TikTok to YouTube, because I was just used to doing a little 1 minute, 2 minute video on TikTok or Instagram, and then before next thing you know, I'm doing a fucking 25-minute video on YouTube, and I've got to edit it all, and it's like, fucking hell. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it, but the editing's what pisses me off. It does my fucking head in, man.
Same here, mate. Same.
Constant.
I uploaded a 14-minute video the other day, and that took me probably on and off about 3 weeks to edit.
Yeah, fucking horrible.
Because it was so many different little clips, and you had to match them all together. And I tried to hire a dude to do it, and he just could not do it at all. So I just thought, I've just got to do it, So, but anyway, So you've got a Discord group as well, haven't you, on your YouTube?
Yeah. The Discord. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Crane Operators of the World or something?
I don't know.
There's about 300 odd of us in there. I haven't pushed that for a while, to be honest. So nobody's really going to my YouTube at minute. There's no vids, so I haven't pushed the Discord, but I should push it really. I'll have a look. I'll have a look what it's called. Little plug.
Is it mainly mobile drivers?
It's everyone. Yeah, there's mobile.
I had a look at it. Yeah. I actually joined it, but I went on there twice, and again, I just don't ever do it. Don't ever look at anything. You know what I mean? But
Crane Operators of the World, it's called. But the permanent link to join, it's on my YouTube.
Yeah.
But we've had some cracking conversations on there. Like, I wanted to create a sort of space for, because the backstory was I used to like lever pullers and stuff that's on Facebook groups. They're all just people arguing, taking the piss.
Yeah.
Just it's just like they're all right to have a bit of fun, a bit of banter, but there's never, even when someone posts like a genuine question or they just get the shit ripped out of them. So I thought if I could make a group where, don't get me wrong, there's still banter in the Discord, like we still rip each other and stuff, but when I created a separate sort of chat, if you will, there's a few chats you can be in, and that one's like crane questions, or there's one for starting out. If you're just new to the industry, go on there, type in what, and everyone on there has been fucking sound so far. Like there's not been one bad person to ruin it. But anyone's welcome to join if you're in the industry. Because I sort of thought we'll just crane operators at first, but I thought, nah, fuck it. If you're a supervisor, like rigger, anyone can join it. Is just as long as you've got a love for cranes, really, and that's all we talk about. We just talk cranes all the fucking day.
Fair play. Yeah, that's really good. So it's giving a lot of resources to people, a lot of information and
Absolutely. Well,
advice.
it's not just the UK either. So there's people in there from fucking USA, Canada, China. Maybe not China actually. Just totally bullshitted there. I just had a Chinese crane I made. Like Sweden, Norway,
Yeah.
a lot of Europe. Like there's fucking every nationality in there. Like, and it's really it's good. I'm going to start pushing it more again. I was thinking to myself, I need to start pushing it more because it's good.
How do you have time to moderate it then? Do you have a moderator or do you do it yourself?
No, I just do it all myself.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, that group doesn't need moderating. Like we've literally had no bad shit happen really at the moment, good. So it's fine. I mean, if it got bigger, I mean, 300 people, it's quite a lot of people to have in a group chat, to be honest. But if it got to a few thousand and it needed moderating, then I'd have to pick people. But I don't fucking know. I just roll with me. I never got a plan for anything. Like any video that I do, any Instagram, TikTok video, 99% of the time they've never been planned or anything like that. I just pull my camera out, film something, whatever pops into my head.
Yeah.
And then it's like I never have like a schedule or anything. I'm not like, oh, I'm going to film this on this day. Or the only thing I scheduled was like YouTube. So that was like the only thing that I'd have a little bit of a sort of plan. But the TikTok and Instagram is just fucking whack your camera out and start popping away. Really.
I'm kind of the same. I do kind of plan some things, but nothing's ever scripted. It's just like just chatting a load of shit, really.
Just roll with it.
I don't know if people are interested in it or not. Listen to me chat shit, but I don't know. That's the only way I know how to do it. You know, like if I was to write a script and try and remember it, I'll just be like, you know what I mean? It just sound like a total twat. So
absolutely.
I just talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm not bothered how I look or anything either. Like a lot of stuff on social media has to be perfect, everything has to look mint, has to look. Like, don't get me wrong, I like things to look good, like on pictures and stuff. But whenever I'm videoing myself and it's just me on the camera and that, like, I'm not putting filters on. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what I look like. I have honestly, I never have any sort of, nothing has to be perfect. Like, it's just I want it to be I want the representation of what I put online to be as real as if you met me in person, you were like, oh, fucking hell, he actually is like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, it's not like an actor or anything.
Authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I've seen a few of the videos. I do think so, but it's it's a construction industry at the end of the day. It's not like the fashion industry or anything like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Bit of advice then for people. Anyone who wants to get into the industry, what's the kind of landscape like for them? What money wise? What would they expect?
I think it's probably changed a lot since I started out in it, but I think if like a small crane operator, like mobile crane operator starting out, you'd easily make 30 grand plus a year. Easy. That's not like, it sounds low, but well, I don't know if it sounds low actually. To be honest, I don't know what the average income is a year for. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was. What was the question again? Sorry, I've totally off
Just,
track here.
just give people a landscape of what to expect in the industry. Really, just anything.
Long hours, very long hours.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be able to sell it right good now, like, but yeah, the hours are very long. The work can be tough at times, but it is one of the most rewarding industries, I think, personally. Like, you go, even like steel jobs and stuff, you go turn up, pull up on site, and there's nothing there, and then at the end of the week or whatever, and you've built this big steel structure or building, and like the satisfaction you get from it, I fucking love it.
yeah.
I like the traveling as well. The traveling I love. Get to see a lot of places. I just think it's brilliant. The community is really good. Can be a bit bitchy at times, but I think they're a really solid community as a whole. And just some of the stuff you do is just cool shit. You just don't want to play with like mint machinery all day. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I just will say that if you don't want to, just don't get into it for strictly the money. Like, don't get me wrong, the money can be good. Like, you can earn really good money, but you're working long hours for it. Very unsociable. Work a lot of weekends. It's just you've got to put your all into it. You've got to give it your 100%. Because if you just go into it as a job, you won't enjoy it. You need to fucking really be interested in it and really have a love for it, I think. Which is why I think, that's. I tell that to a lot of people, and most people are like, I really, really, really want to get into it. Stuff. I say, just make sure you love it. Love the job you do. You'll never work a day in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a
that's the
classic
one.
quote.
That's the one. How can people get into it? How do you get into it then?
So I always tell people the way I got into it, and it's worked for a lot of people because I've had a fair few people get into the industry through me. Like, that was such a great feeling to get, like, spoke to a guy, messaged me saying, how do I get into the industry? Told him what to do. I asked him what area he was from. He was from the Liverpool area. And I said, look, get into like a family-run company. This isn't the gospel way to do it, but this is just what I tell people because I find it works. Get a family-run company is what you want to look for. Go to them, express your interest. If you've got tickets that you've paid for yourself, that's a bonus. But I have found that family firms look to invest in people. Not saying that bigger companies don't do that, but you've got a better chance with a family firm, and they will take you in. They paid for my tickets when I did mine and went to a family firm, which I'm very fortunate for. Can't thank them enough. Worked my way up a little bit. And then once they've got that investment out of you, then think about moving on to where you want to actually be. But that's what I told the guy, and he was like, yeah, Sal, mate, I'm going to go over to him. So he went over to John Such. A couple of weeks down the line, he was like, had an interview, start next week. I just want to thank you for like the conversation was a lot longer than what I've just said then, but it was a brilliant feeling just to be like, fucking, I've had an actual positive influence on somebody, and it's still there. Well, I don't know if he's there now. I think he's at another company, but he's still in crane driving, he's crane operating now, and he's fucking loving it. So yeah, it's a good feeling, that, man. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Helping people, innit? I always try and help people in whether it is, I'd like to be in a position to help anybody out, really, whether it's business wise or whatever, just to get people on their way.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
One day, but at the minute, all you can provide is knowledge and wisdom.
Yep.
Especially to the youngsters. What was you like at school?
Bit of a class clown. I was terrible grade wise. Like, didn't really get any. Well, I got C's, but they weren't like. I was never striving to do. I just wanted to be a crane operator. So school was sort of. I started college doing. Fucking hell, I can't remember what I started. I think it was psychology, business, and something else. But I wasn't. I did 3 months, and I said to my mum, I was like, I want to drop out, and she said, you can only drop out if you go and get a job. So I was like, right, no worries. Writ up my CV, and then literally went round to my there's like a shopping centre near my house. Went round all the shops, handed my CV out, got an interview the next day for a clothes shop. I was like, right, I've got an interview. And she was like, well, if you get the job, you can quit. I was like, fucking sound. So got the job, quit college, never looked back. Like, I don't, the grade, like school for me, I loved it. I enjoyed school, but I was never an academic person. Like university and stuff like that was never on the
No,
radar for me. Fuck that.
it's not important, is it? You know,
Absolutely not.
it is. I mean, it's there's a big emphasis on grades now, more so than there used to be. It does give you more opportunities, but it's not important, is it? You know,
No.
as long as you got a good work ethic and you got half your common sense and
Yeah.
half a brain, you're halfway there. You know, it's about your determination, all that, innit?
That'll take you further in life, common sense, than grades and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Like,
because you might have the most brightest people who've got the best grades, got no common sense, and they don't know how to solve problems and that sort of stuff.
yeah.
And you know,
Like yeah, most of the people that I know that have been to university have either got like I'm not slating people that go to university. My wife's just done an open university degree. She's looking to
wow,
do something with her degree. Like
yeah,
um, I'm not slating people, but there is a lot of people that go to uni and then do nothing with their degree. Like
yeah,
get themselves in all this debt and then do nothing with them. So
yeah,
you don't have to go to uni to which I think they're pushing it too much now. I think they're pushing people towards that side of it with university and taking it from like apprenticeships and trades and
mm,
just joiners, plumbers, electricians, crane operator. There should be like a
yeah.
recognised crane operating apprenticeship for me. I think. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're just pushing university too much and not
I,
apprenticeships.
I did the apprenticeship.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. We select. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I did it 9 years ago now.
What was the
Age-
process like? All right.
It was all right. Yeah. So I did. So we had to do for them to get the funding. We had to do like 9 or 10 categories. All sorts of stuff that I'm never going to use: traffic marshal, dumper truck,
Yeah.
mutes, slinger signalling, loads of them. So 3 months at Bircham Newton, and then 2 weeks in the yard on the towers, 2 weeks at Bourne Airfield on the crawlers, 2 weeks shadowing on site, and then that was it. Off you go. That was it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what
So
though, I think Select and maybe Ainscow, but I think Select and Ainscow probably the only companies that do apprenticeships for cranes in the UK.
yeah, they stopped doing it now.
I've,
They've stopped.
so there you
Yeah,
go. Do you know what I mean? Like no,
yeah, yeah,
it needs to be. It's a thing that does work. Like
yeah.
it should be brought back, or there needs to be something put in place. But like I say, it's at the back of the list. It's not important at the moment. There's bigger issues apparently.
Yeah,
So
honestly, apprenticeships are the way forward, man. For anything, anything that you want to get into. It's like, I was 35 when I started at mine. You
really,
know,
yeah,
yeah. So with family and all that. So look, I never had the money to get a ticket. I wanted to get out of the groundwork. So I thought, how am I going to bloody spend a couple of grand on? So
yeah, yeah.
it's just a godsend, really. So I think the government should be pushing apprenticeships all day long. I think it's getting
100%.
better. It is getting better. I think it all disappeared, didn't it? Through like they had a big recession
Yeah, yeah.
years ago. It's starting to come back now.
Fair play for giving it a go at that age though as well. Like I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people that I come across that are saying, "Oh well, I'm too old," and they're like mid-30s like yourself. And
Mm.
I was like, "Fuck that! You don't need to be 19, 20 and fucking start it. Then you can start it whenever. You're 40-year old, it's fucking fine. Like you just gotta want
Yeah.
it. Just gotta want to do it.
Yeah.
Haven't you?
I think you should always be looking to grow anyway as a person.
Yeah,
I think if you're doing the same thing now in like 10, 15 years, I think there's something wrong, you know what I mean? You need to be trying to better yourself and grow.
absolutely,
There you go. So
absolutely.
what advice would you give to your 16-year-old self? Last question, last main question.
Um, Last advice I'd give to my 16-year-old self. Don't fall off the crane.
Really?
Yeah, I actually fell off. I
Did
fell off a
you?
crane. Yeah, a few years ago. So I'd probably tell him when you get to 22-year-old, don't fall off the fucking crane.
What happened there then?
Bit of a bad injury, really. I smashed all my head open. De-rigging
Yeah.
the 500 ton, and I didn't have a harness on, like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So I jumped back down off the winch and I kicked. Like there's a raised bit on the top of the ballast, like tripped over that and fell backwards. Fair way up, probably 10, 12 meters in air.
Yeah.
No, it's not 10, 12 meters in air, probably about seven or eight. And smashed my head on back rigger, knocked myself out, dislocated my shoulder, and then
Wow.
got taken to hospital. So I probably that would be one of them. Don't fall off a crane at this point. What else would I? What other advice would I give myself? I don't know really, because I've not really got any sort of. I don't. I've got no like regrets or anything in the industry. I'll tell you what. Actually, I have got one. Don't let other people's opinions of you affect you. And I don't do it now, but when I was starting out in the industry, it used to bother me so much. Like it used to get. There's a lot of malice in the older, sort of more experienced generation in the crane industry that don't want to see people progress and people get trained up on these machines. And not saying everyone, but there is a
Yeah.
certain type of person in the industry that they don't want to see people progress. And in my first like 3 years into the profession, I was experiencing it quite a lot. People sort of not showing me stuff and trying to not tell me anything. Like I'd ask questions and that, and it was like just being horrible. And I just thought everyone was out to get me and stuff like that. Like you're only here because your dad. You're only here because of your dad. Stuff like that. And it really used to bother me. Like I fucking hated it. But then I sort of got a bit of experience behind me, and I thought, you know what, I shouldn't have even let it bother me in the first place. I don't know why I've been letting it bother me so much. So I think that would be the advice for me. If anyone's trying to be a bit horrible or a bit mean to you, just try and don't let it get to you, because
Yeah. Fair play.
you'll be if you the bigger man at the end of the day, and they're just being fucking miserable, horrible bastards. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Fair play. Yeah.
that's what I'd
So,
say.
but on the flip side, did you have people who supported you and helped you and advised
Oh
you?
yeah, absolutely, man. It's total polar opposites. Like the people I did that did support me and that I tried to take as much knowledge as I physically like possibly could from them. Still speak to them now, some of the guys, but you've just got to be careful with the people that are giving you the advice. Like you kind of know when someone's being trustworthy and they're really
Yeah.
sound people, but you do get the odd ones that are out to actually they are out to get you, like they are out for you to make a mistake and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I like to think that I've sort of turned into a person that if someone rang me and they had an issue or something, I'll be like, yep, no problem, I'll try and help you as much as I can.
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn into the person that would be, say if a young lad comes in now, I'm not going to be scared of my job, therefore not show him anything. Like I would try and show him as much as I possibly could. I'm not scared of my
Yeah.
job. I'm not thinking he's coming to take my job away. I'm just want to pass all the knowledge that I've learned down onto the younger generation. So yeah,
Yeah. Exactly,
that's what I'd
mate.
say.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's fair, mate. Yeah, I'll go with that. That's fair. Nice one. So, I'm gonna do some quick fire questions now.
Yeah,
I don't have to think
no
about 'em too
problem.
much. Just a little bit of fun that I do at the end of them. Yeah, just a few.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem.
all right. Before we finish, so do you have
Mm-hmm.
gravy on your chips?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Would you ever cook frozen Yorkshire puddings, or do they have to be homemade?
Nah, I'd cook frozen. Cook frozen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Aunt Bessie's aren't bad.
Yeah. What's your biggest fear?
Yeah. Biggest fear. Oh Jesus. Uh, oh God, I don't really know. Deep water, really deep water, like really,
Okay.
really deep water.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm shit scared of. Yeah, hate it.
What If you had to choose between the hair or the beard, what would it be?
Hair, 100%. The
Yeah.
hair's gone now. The hair's
Oh, is
gone.
it gone?
Yeah, look, hold on.
Ah,
I know.
what happened there then? Why is
I
that?
starting this job in the steam and everything, and
Ah,
like sweating constantly. So I'd take my hat off at the end of the day, and like I just, it was too much hair. Like it was too heavy, and it was just, it was doing my head in. So I pulled them
yeah.
all out first. I
I
pulled them
should
all
really
out.
clarify that, actually, because there'll be people here who don't
Yeah,
know watching. What are they going on about? Yeah, so you had locks, didn't you? Quite
yeah,
long
yeah, yeah, yeah,
dreadlocks
yeah,
like myself.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I
you
just got
pulled
sick of them, man.
you
Fucking
pulled them out
yeah.
without extensions. Then
No, like I had extensions on the bottom, but they ended up cutting
right,
them off. So I had like
yeah,
it was like all my real hair, but the way she made them was like obviously all the back combing and stuff, like
yeah,
with a needle.
yeah.
And then I spent all night like fucking over 3 nights actually, trying to individually like pull the hair out basically to make it all. I just wanted to see how long my actual hair was, and then I shaved my head next day. Near enough, fucking
Mate,
stupid. I know.
mate, shame. Oh well,
I know.
maybe you get them back in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Last
Possibly.
one. If your crane was a car, what would it be?
Um. Oh fuck. It's got to be Maybach, hasn't it? Mercedes
Maybach.
Maybach. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mercedes Maybach's the best.
Nice, nice, nice. Big, luxurious, powerful. Yeah,
Absolutely. It's just the
stylish.
best. Turns
Yeah.
everyone's head. Turns the heads. Turns the heads.
Okay, so lastly, where can people find you?
TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. My handles for TikTok's just Cranebrain, and then Instagram's Cranebrain1 because someone's already taken Cranebrain. Fucking wankers.
Ah,
Don't know who it is, like, well, you fuckers. And I think YouTube's the same, just Cranebrain, or it might be Cranebrain. Hold on. It might be Cranebrain 17, actually. It's been that long ago since I've looked on YouTube.
I'll leave the links in the description anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
You
no
have to
problem.
send me. You have to send me the links. Yeah.
It's just Cranebrain. It's just Cranebrain. But yeah, I'll send you the links. No problem.
Yeah.
I've had a good time.
Before we go, you got a good voice. Give it the old crane brain holler.
What do you mean, like singing it?
Yeah.
I've got guitar somewhere. I've got guitar somewhere. If you want to give us a little,
Go on then.
just pull it out from. This wasn't practiced, by the way. It just so happens. It might not be tuned actually. Cranebrain. That's it. That's all you're getting.
That'll do. Very nice. Thanks,
No
mate.
problem. No worries.
It's been worth the wait. It's been great.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm glad we got it over the line finally. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hopefully in the future, get a little studio and get you back in person.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well up for that. Well up for that, mate. Yeah. No
Nice
problem.
one. Top man,
Cheers,
keep in
buddy.
touch, yeah?
Yeah, no problem, mate. Catch you in a bit. Thank you very much.
All right, mate.
Cheers, buddy.